Alex stood on the observation deck of the human colony station, staring at the black expanse of space. The stars glimmered like distant fires, but none of them brought comfort tonight. Reports had come in from scouts hours ago. The Krith fleet was approaching. Their ships were fast, deadly, and ruthless. This time, there would be no warning. "Commander Alex," called Lieutenant Mara, her voice steady but tense. "All units are ready. Defensive turrets online. Shields at full capacity." Alex nodded, their hands gripping the railing. "Good. Keep the perimeter tight. The Krith won't expect us to fight back like this." Mara frowned. "We're still outnumbered. Even with reinforcements, this is risky." Alex smiled faintly, though it didn't reach their eyes. "Since when has being outnumbered stopped humans? We adapt. We survive. That's what makes us dangerous." A heavy silence fell between them. The colony below hummed with activity. Civilians hurried to shelters while engineers monitored shield generators. Soldiers checked weapons and ran simulations on tactical terminals. The tension was thick, like a storm cloud ready to burst. Alex leaned back, closing their eyes for a moment. Memories flashed unbidden, memories of Lyra. Lyra had been different from anyone Alex had ever met. Her species, the Solari, were known for intelligence, grace, and a commanding presence that could make allies and enemies alike obey. Alex had met her years ago on a distant research station. They had sparred, laughed, argued, and sometimes fought side by side. Then, for reasons Alex still didn't fully understand, she had left, returning to her people and their mysterious alliances. Alex shook their head. This wasn't the time to think about old flames. Not when lives were at stake, but a part of. Alex couldn't help wondering, what if Lyra were here now? What if the universe had decided to throw fate back into their path? "Commander," Mara said quietly, breaking the thought. "Sensors show the Krith fleet is entering the system. They're larger than we expected." Alex's eyes snapped open. They walked to the tactical console, fingers flying across the controls. A holographic display shimmered in front of them, showing dozens of jagged shapes converging on the colony. The Krith ships were terrifying, black, spiked, and bristling with weapons. "Deploy interceptors," Alex ordered. "Target the lead ships. Draw them away from the colony. Prepare orbital defenses. Everyone else brace for impact." Mara hesitated. "Sir, even with that, they underestimate us," Alex interrupted firmly. "And that will be their mistake." Outside, space was about to become a battlefield. The first Krith ship sliced through the void, their engines leaving streaks of red against the black canvas. They moved like predators, confident, deadly, unrelenting. Alex took a deep breath. "All units, hold formation. Remember your training. Protect the civilians and survive." The first shots rang out as human interceptors engaged the Krith vanguard. Explosions lit the dark space like distant fireworks. Some ships were destroyed instantly, others maneuvered in narrow escapes. The Krith were skilled, but human pilots were clever, using unpredictable formations and decoy drones to confuse them. Despite the chaos, Alex noticed something odd. Sensors picked up energy signatures that didn't belong to either side. Strange, quiet pulses near the edge of the system, barely detectable. The engineers were puzzled, and the tactical AI flagged them as anomalies. "Commander," Mara said, frowning at the display, "these readings, they're not Krith. They're something else, something massive." Alex frowned, their stomach tightening. Something massive. Something alien. Something familiar. Memories of Lyra surged again. Her presence had always been commanding, impossible to ignore. Could this be a coincidence? Or was fate playing a hand? The thought was brief, but it made Alex's heart pound. "Stay focused," Alex muttered. "We fight what's in front of us. Nothing else matters. Minutes passed like hours. The colony's shields took hits, but held. Interceptors darted between massive Krith warships, lasers cutting through the dark. Explosions rocked the observation deck, shaking Alex and Mara, but the human defenders held their ground. Then, a flash appeared on the edge of the system. A ship unlike any Alex had seen before. Sleek, silver blue, glowing faintly with energy. That was not fire, not plasma, not anything human. The ship moved with precision, almost like it was alive. Alex froze. Something about the ship's movements was familiar. Every curve, every maneuver, they had seen it before. "Commander, look," Mara said, pointing at the display. Alex swallowed hard. Their heart raced. Could it be? No. It couldn't be. And yet, deep down, a voice in their mind whispered, "It's her." The Krith didn't notice it yet. They were focused on the humans, confident, arrogant. But something, or someone, was coming into the battlefield. Something that could change everything. Alex gritted their teeth. "All units, hold steady. Whatever is coming will arrive soon." Outside, the stars continued to shine cold and indifferent. But one ship moved with a purpose, cutting through space like a blade. Its arrival would not just turn the battle. It would turn everything Alex thought they knew about loyalty, love, and the war for the frontier. For now, Alex only waited, heart-hammering, hoping they weren't imagining the impossible. The calm before the storm had ended. The Krith fleet surged closer, like a shadow swallowing the stars. Their jagged black ships bristled with weapons, engines glowing red-hot as they prepared for a devastating assault. Alex's hands gripped the railing of the observation deck, knuckles white. The hum of the colony's shields was the only sound separating them from total annihilation. "Commander," Mara said, voice tense, "they're within firing range. They'll hit the outer colonies in minutes if we don't stop them here." Alex's jaw tightened. "Deploy all interceptors. Target the lead ships and focus fire on weapon systems first. Don't let them reach the civilian zones." Outside, the human fleet surged into action. Interceptors darted around the Krith vanguard, small and fast, their movements unpredictable. Lasers tore through the void, explosions scattering debris in brilliant flashes. The Krith's first wave was strong, but human ingenuity turned it into a deadly trap. Still, Alex knew it wouldn't be enough. The Krith were cunning and ruthless. Their numbers were overwhelming. Every second human pilots survived was another second closer to disaster. "Commander, shields are holding, but their firepower is immense," Mara warned. "We can't keep this up for long." Alex's eyes narrowed. They scanned the battlefield for anything unusual, anything that might give them an edge. That's when the sensors picked up the faint pulse again, the strange energy readings at the edge of the system. Mara noticed it too. "Commander, these readings, they're stronger. Something is moving out there. Something massive." Alex's heart skipped a beat. Memories of Lyra flared like a sudden storm. Could it be? The timing? The energy signature? It was too precise to be coincidence. "Keep your focus on the Krith," Alex said aloud, though their mind raced. "We can deal with surprises later." The Krith ships pressed the attack. One massive cruiser fired a concentrated energy beam at the colony's central shield. The station shuddered as the shields flared under the assault, sparks flying across observation panels. Human engineers worked furiously to stabilize the power flow. "Commander, we need to counter that beam or the shields will fail," Mara shouted. Alex's fingers flew across the controls. "Divert all auxiliary power to shields. Fire orbital. Defense batteries, make them pay for every shot." The human fleet's counterattack was precise. Turrets tore into the Krith cruisers' hulls, forcing them to retreat slightly. But Alex could see the Krith were calculating, searching for weaknesses. Every second gained was precious, but dangerous. Then, from the edge of the system, a sudden streak of silver-blue light cut across space. The sensors picked it up immediately. The unusual pulses grew stronger, almost alive. "Commander, look!" Mara shouted, pointing at the display. Alex froze. Their breath caught. The ship was sleek, larger than any human vessel, and its movements were fluid, almost effortless. Every maneuver was precise, calculated, and commanding. It cut through the Krith ranks like a blade through water, and the enemy's formation wavered for the first time. "What? What is that?" one young pilot muttered over the comms. Alex's heart raced. One word formed in their mind: Lyra. The ship's arrival changed everything instantly. The Krith fleet paused, engines burning as they tried to recalibrate. It was clear they recognized the vessel, feared it even. Their attacks slowed, faltered, and some ships began to pull back. "Focus fire," Alex commanded, voice steady despite the shock. "Exploit their hesitation. We push forward now." Human pilots surged, attacking with renewed confidence. Shields held, lasers struck, and the Krith were thrown into confusion. The tides of battle were turning in ways Alex had never imagined. The mysterious ship moved closer to the front line. Every strike it fired was precise, every maneuver calculated. Yet it did not destroy recklessly. It was deliberate, controlled, like a master strategist showing its skill. Alex allowed themselves a brief glance at the observation screens, searching for any hint of recognition in the vessel's markings. And then it hit them. The symbols, the curves, the energy pulse, they were unmistakable. Lyra. It had to be her. "Commander, whoever that is, the Krith are terrified," Mara said, awe in her voice. "They're pulling back." Alex's mind raced. The battle had shifted in an instant, not because of numbers, not because of technology, but because of one presence, one name. One X who had returned at exactly the right moment. As the Krith fleet hesitated, Alex ordered a coordinated strike. Humans had never been more focused, more united. Every turret, every interceptor, every orbital battery worked in perfect unison. The Krith ships wavered, fired blindly, and then, one by one, they began to retreat. "Commander," Mara breathed, "they're fleeing." Alex allowed themselves a small, sharp smile. Relief mixed with disbelief. Not just relief for victory, but relief that the impossible had arrived. Lyra had shown up, and the battlefield had changed entirely. But even as the enemy fled, Alex felt the old tension between them and Lyra rising. Memories of shared battles, laughter, arguments, and unspoken feelings returned with full force. They had fought side by side once. They had trusted each other. And now, Lyra was here again. "Keep pursuing, but cautiously," Alex ordered. "We finish this, but we don't get reckless." Outside, the Krith retreated into the void, their fleet scattering in disarray. The human colony's shields remained intact. The casualties were fewer than expected, but the danger was not gone. Alex knew this battle was only the beginning. "Commander," Mara said quietly, "whatever that ship is, whoever is piloting it, we owe them everything." Alex's mind was already elsewhere. One thought, one memory, one name: Lyra. She had arrived without warning, yet her presence had saved them all, and Alex knew deep in their heart that the next steps, both in war and in life, would be far more complicated than they had ever imagined. The calm after the storm was brief. The galaxy was watching, and new challenges were already on the battlefield had changed in an instant. The Krith fleet, once overwhelming, was now scattered and confused. Human pilots pushed forward cautiously, taking advantage of the hesitation, but Alex's attention was fixed on the silver-blue ship, at the edge of the system. Every movement it made was precise, every strike calculated. And then Alex saw it, the unmistakable markings, the elegant curves of the vessel. Memories flooded back. The first time they had seen her command a ship, the way she had always seemed in control of everything around her. The pulse of the ship matched a heartbeat Alex knew too well. It was Lyra. Alex's stomach tightened. For years, she had been gone, a distant memory in a galaxy full of unknowns. And now she was here, at the exact moment humans needed her most. "Commander, that ship. It's not just powerful. The Krith recognize it," Mara said, eyes wide. "Their ships are breaking formation. They're terrified." Alex nodded, barely able to speak. "They know her, or at least her reputation." The Krith flagship fired a desperate salvo, but it barely reached the human lines. Lyra's ship moved with perfect timing, intercepting the shots and disabling weapons with minimal damage. Alex could see it from the tactical display. Precise, controlled, almost elegant. Every movement screamed authority, power, and experience. "Alex, is that really—" one pilot asked over comms, voice trembling. Alex didn't answer. They couldn't. Recognition, shock, and a strange warmth mixed together in their chest. Years of unspoken words, arguments, and laughter flashed through their mind. And yet, here she was, fighting for them, or at least helping them survive. Lyra's presence changed the entire battlefield. The Krith hesitated, then tried to regroup, but every movement seemed clumsy under the weight of fear. Alex's fleet pressed forward, firing with renewed confidence. Explosions lit the void like fireworks, but now human pilots could see the difference between desperation and control. "Commander," Mara said quietly, "we can do this. With her here, we can win." Alex allowed a small, sharp smile. But there was more than victory on their mind. There was a question. Why had she come? And for whom? The silver-blue ship advanced closer to the human line, moving with authority that even Alex could not ignore. It wasn't attacking indiscriminately. It was precise, calculated, almost as if it knew exactly what humans could handle. And what they couldn't. And then, through the comm system, a voice came. Calm, clear, and unmistakable. "Alex," the voice said, soft but commanding. "Hold your fire. Focus on defense. I will handle the Krith." Alex froze. The voice. It was her. Lyra. The sound brought back memories that Alex had tried to bury. Training together, arguing over tactics, laughing in the mess hall, sharing quiet moments in the observation deck of a distant station. "Lyra?" Alex's voice trembled slightly. "Is that really you?" "Yes," she replied, voice steady. "I am here to stop them. Stay alive. Your people matter." Alex swallowed hard. For the first time in years, they heard her speak to them directly, again. And yet, there was distance. Professional, controlled. The Lyra Alex remembered, not the Lyra they had loved. The Krith reacted immediately. Their flagship tried to regroup, firing a massive energy beam, but Lyra's ship moved with impossible speed, slicing through their attack and disabling their weapons. One by one, the Krith ships were disrupted, their formations shattered. Alex barked orders to their own fleet. "Target their flanks! Exploit the chaos! Push forward!" Human ships responded, energized by the sudden advantage. Interceptors weaved through enemy fire, turrets struck hard, and the colony's shields stabilized. For the first time, humans could see hope, not just survival, but victory, and all the while Alex couldn't take their eyes off Lyra's ship. It moved like a living entity, calculating, precise, and completely unstoppable. Every action demonstrated skill and intelligence beyond human capability. Yet it was perfectly aligned with Alex's own tactics. Finally, after several intense minutes, the Krith flagship broke formation entirely and began retreating. Other ships followed, their confidence shattered. The humans had held the line, but it was Lyra who had turned the tide. Alex leaned back, breathing heavily. She saved us." Mara nodded, awestruck. "Commander, do you realize what this means? That ship alone, It's enough to make the Krith think twice before attacking again. Alex's eyes were fixed on the stars where Lyra's ship now hovered, scanning the battlefield. There was more to say, more to understand, but for now, survival came first. The fleet quieted as the Krith fled, retreating into the darkness of space. Human ships regrouped, repairs began, and the station's shields stabilized fully. But Alex's mind was elsewhere, replaying every memory of Lyra, every moment of shared laughter, tension, and respect. When the battle finally slowed, Alex sent a private message through secure comms. "Lyra, why are you here?" A pause, then a response. "Because you asked for help, and because the Krith should fear the Solari. We'll talk later." Alex exhaled slowly. Later. Of course. There would be time to deal with old feelings, old arguments. For now, the galaxy had just witnessed something incredible. 1X had returned, and an entire enemy fleet had fled. But deep inside, Alex knew this was only the beginning. Lyra's presence wasn't just a coincidence. It was a signal that the galaxy was about to change. And Alex, human though they were, would have to navigate not just war, but the complicated history with the one person who had always been impossible to forget. The calm had ended. The storm had begun. The Krith fleet retreated, leaving streaks of red exhaust fading into the black of space. Their confidence was shattered, their formations broken, and their morale had plummeted. Human ships floated cautiously, repairing shields and systems while keeping watch on the departing enemy. Alex breathed deeply, trying to calm the adrenaline still coursing through their veins. "Commander," Mara said, her voice filled with awe, "they're really gone, the colony. It's safe. For now." Alex nodded, but their gaze was locked on the silver-blue ship hovering nearby. It was still there, scanning the battlefield, calm and commanding. Lyra. Alex felt a mixture of relief, disbelief, and something far more personal, an ache that had been buried for years. "Alex," Mara said softly, "you need to speak to them. Whoever that is, you know them, don't you?" Alex swallowed hard, hesitating. Yes, I do. But this isn't the time." The comms crackled again, and Lyra's voice cut through, calm and precise. "Commander, human forces held the line well. You did not falter. But next time, call me sooner. We do not want casualties if we can avoid them." Alex's lips twitched in a half-smile. "Noted. And thank you." Lyra's reply was quiet, almost personal. "Do not thank me yet. We still have work to do." The humans worked quickly to regroup, salvaging damaged ships and attending to wounded personnel. Despite the victory, tension remained in the air. Everyone knew the Krith would return, perhaps stronger, but now the humans had a reason to hope, a reason that hadn't existed before. Alex finally left the observation deck and descended to the colony's command hub. Engineers and soldiers were buzzing with activity, reporting damages and preparing for further defenses. Yet all Alex could think about was Lyra. They didn't have to wait long. Moments later, a transport shuttle from the silver-blue ship landed on the colony's docking platform. The hatch opened, and Lyra stepped out, her tall frame commanding, attention even without the ship behind her. Her armor gleamed softly under the artificial lights, her eyes scanning the humans with calm authority. Alex felt their chest tighten. Lyra had not changed much, still poised, still sharp, still impossible to ignore. "Lyra," Alex said, stepping forward, You saved us. I didn't expect." Lyra held up a hand, cutting Alex off gently but firmly. "Expectations are dangerous, Alex. Focus on what is real. The Krith are retreating, your people are safe, and the battle is over. For now." Alex nodded, trying to control the rush of emotions. "Right, but why? Why appear now? After all, These years? Lyra's eyes softened, just slightly. Because I owe it to those who fight with honor, and because I knew the Krith would not give you mercy. I do not take sides lightly, but humans are resilient. You remind me of that. Resilient. Alex felt warmth at the word, but also a pang of old memories. Arguments over tactics, quiet conversations under stars, and battles fought side by side. Resilient, huh? Alex muttered. I guess you've seen that firsthand now. Lyra's lips twitched in what could have been a smile. Indeed, but resilience alone will not win the next war. You will need strategy, allies, and perhaps trust in those you once knew. Alex's heart skipped a beat at the words. Trust. That was something that had always been complicated between them. Do you trust me now? Alex asked quietly, eyes meeting hers. Lyra's gaze held steady. Trust must be earned again, Alex. But yes, for now, I trust that you will lead your people wisely, and I will help where I can. The two of them stood in silence, the weight of years and battles between them. Outside, human engineers were busy repairing the station, soldiers moved cautiously, and the stars beyond the windows shimmered cold and indifferent. Yet in that moment, time seemed to shrink to the space between Alex and Lyra. Finally, Lyra spoke. Again, voice calm, but filled with authority. Commander, I will stay long enough to ensure your defenses are secure. After that, I return to my own fleet. The Krith are not finished, and neither are their allies. You will need to prepare. Alex nodded. I understand, but it's good to see you again. Even like this. Lyra's eyes softened one last time. It is good to see you too. Remember, Alex, humans survive because you never give up. That is why you are dangerous. That is why you are respected. Alex felt a surge of pride and something deeper. Something that was more than just pride, something personal and yet professional. Thank you, Lyra. I hope we get more time to talk later. Lyra's lips curved slightly, and with a nod, she turned toward her shuttle. Perhaps we will. But for now, stay vigilant. The hatch closed behind her and the shuttle lifted, off, returning to the silver-blue ship hovering above. Alex watched until the ship vanished into the stars, feeling a mixture of relief, longing, and determination. The Krith had fled. The colony was safe, and yet Alex knew this victory was only temporary. The galaxy was vast, full of threats, and the presence of Lyra had reminded Alex of something else, their own resilience, and the potential of humans to face challenges. No one expected them to survive. Commander, Mara said, stepping beside Alex. You all right? Alex smiled faintly. I am. And more than that, we have hope. For now, that is enough. Mara nodded, watching the stars where Lyra's ship had disappeared. For now. Outside the station, space returned to its cold, quiet state. The battle was over, but the war for the frontier was just beginning. Alex knew that the Krith would return, and other threats were already lurking in distant systems. But for the first time, humans had not only survived, they had been saved in a way no one could have predicted, and deep in their heart, Alex knew that one alien X, Lyra, had changed the course of the battle, and perhaps the course of the future. The calm had ended. The storm had passed, for now, but the galaxy would never be the same again. The colony was quiet now, but the air remained tense. Humans moved carefully, repairing ships and fortifying defenses. Outside, the stars were calm, but Alex knew the galaxy held far more threats than the Krith fleet that had just retreated. Lyra's ship still hovered in orbit, silent but watchful. Alex stood on the observation deck, staring at the silver-blue vessel. Despite the relief of victory, questions weighed heavily on their mind. A communication ping broke the silence. Lyra's voice, calm and precise, came through. "Alex, we need to talk. I have information you must hear." Alex nodded, signaling Mara to continue coordinating repairs while they engaged in private comms with Lyra. "Go ahead." "I have observed Krith movements for cycles," Lyra began. "Their attacks are not random. They follow patterns, intelligence from larger forces. There is a coalition forming in the galaxy, several systems aligned against human expansion. They are powerful, and the Krith are only one piece." Alex felt a chill. "A coalition? How soon will they act?" Lyra paused. "Soon. Months, perhaps weeks. They are watching human colonies carefully. The Krith attack was a test, a probe of your defenses. They will return stronger if you are unprepared." Alex clenched their fists. "Then we need allies, strategies, everything we can muster. We can't fight alone." "Exactly," Lyra replied. "That is why I am here. My fleet can help you prepare. I can share intelligence, advanced technology, and tactics. But humans must adapt quickly. The galaxy does, not wait for hesitation." Alex nodded slowly, the weight of responsibility pressing down. "We adapt, we always do. But your fleet, will they accept humans as equals?" Lyra's voice softened, almost human in tone. "They respect power, skill, and strategy. You have proven your resilience. That earns respect. And if you continue to prove it, alliances will form. But caution is necessary. Trust must be earned, even among allies." Alex took a deep breath. It was daunting, but also exhilarating. Humans had always faced impossible odds. And now, with Lyra's guidance, they could rise stronger than ever. "First," Lyra continued, "we analyze Krith technology. Their shields, weapons, and fleet formations. You have clever tactics, but combined with Solari knowledge, humans can create a force no one expects." Alex's mind raced. They imagined new ships, better defenses, and coordinated fleets combining. Human ingenuity with Solari expertise. "We'll start immediately. I want simulations, tactical reviews, and training exercises. We need every pilot, engineer, and strategist focused." Lyra's voice carried a hint of pride. "Good. And second, we prepare for diplomacy. Not all systems are enemies. Some may join humans if approached correctly. The Krith fear reputation. Yes, but alliances can multiply your strength beyond imagination." Alex nodded. "I'll assemble a team to reach out to neighboring colonies. Caution and respect. We can't afford missteps." Lyra's ship moved closer to the station, as if listening to every word. Alex felt a strange mix of reassurance and tension. Lyra was still distant, still commanding, but there was a sense of shared purpose now. "Alex," Lyra said finally, "there is one more thing. The coalition is vast, and their spies are everywhere. You cannot assume safety anywhere. The next attacks will test humans in ways not yet imagined. You must prepare mentally and strategically." Alex swallowed hard. "Understood. And I'll do everything I can to protect the colonies." "To protect people. That's what we've always done." Lyra's voice softened slightly. "I know. And that is why you survive when others would not. But remember, humans are unpredictable. That unpredictability can be strength. Or risk. Use it wisely." The conversation ended, leaving Alex deep in thought. The victory over the Krith had been just a beginning. The galaxy was watching, testing, and waiting. With Lyra's guidance, humans had a chance to prepare, but the coming challenges would demand every ounce of courage, intelligence, and creativity. Mara approached, her expression curious. "Commander, that was Lyra, wasn't it?" Alex nodded, still staring at the stars. "Yes. And she just changed everything. The Krith were only the start. There's more coming, and we need to be ready. Mara hesitated. It's incredible. Humans facing the galaxy's strongest and one of their greatest allies shows up. Someone you know. It's unreal. Alex allowed a small smile. Yes, but unreal or not, it's real. And we'll use it. Humans survive because we adapt, because we fight, and because we never give up. Now, we combine that with what Lyra brings, and we become unstoppable. Outside, the stars shimmered quietly. The colony buzzed with activity, engineers repairing shields, pilots training in simulators, and strategists reviewing every possible scenario. Humans were preparing for the battles ahead, strengthened by experience, resilience, and now unexpected allies. Lyra's ship hovered like a guardian above, watching, waiting, a silent reminder of the galaxy's complexity and of personal history that Alex could not ignore. 1X had arrived, but the future required more than past feelings. It required focus, courage, and unity. Alex turned to Mara, determination burning in their eyes. We start preparations immediately. Every ship, every soldier, every mind counts. The galaxy won't wait for us to hesitate, and neither will the Krith or the coalition behind them. Mara nodded. Understood, Commander. Let's make sure the next battle is ours before it even begins. Alex exhaled, feeling the weight of responsibility settle comfortably on their shoulders. The galaxy was dangerous, unpredictable, and vast, but humans had faced worse. With Lyra's guidance and the courage of those around them, Alex knew one thing. Humanity's story in this galaxy was far from over. And for the first time in years, Alex felt the thrill of hope, not just survival, but strategy, intelligence, and strength combined. The frontier had survived today. Tomorrow, humanity would rise stronger than anyone expected. The colony buzzed with renewed energy. Ships were repaired, defenses reinforced, and soldiers trained tirelessly. The Krith had retreated, but Alex knew this was only the beginning. Beyond the horizon, the galaxy was vast and full of dangers, waiting for the humans. Above the station, Lyra's silver-blue ship hovered silently. Her presence was more than just reassurance. It was a symbol. Humans could survive, adapt, and even thrive when guided by both courage and intelligence. Alex walked on to the observation deck, looking out at the stars. Mara followed quietly, aware that Alex's thoughts were deeper than simple strategy. They'll be back, Alex said, voice calm but firm, and not just the Krith. Their allies are forming a coalition. We need to be ready. Mara nodded. With Lyra here and the intelligence she shared, we have a chance. But how do we convince the other colonies? Alex's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. We show them what we can do. Not just with weapons, but with strategy, coordination, and survival. Humans adapt, humans endure, and humans inspire. Lyra's voice echoed in Alex's calm and measured. Commander, I will remain in orbit while you establish communication with neighboring colonies. They will listen more closely if they see unity and preparation. It is time humans become more than survivors. They must become a force respected by the galaxy. Alex exhaled. Agreed. Let's start immediately. The next hours passed in a blur of activity. Alex coordinated with the engineers, tacticians, and fleet commanders. Lyra provided guidance, pointing out vulnerabilities in human ship designs, suggesting new formations, and introducing tactics that were foreign to the Krith, but easy for humans to adopt. In simulations, humans and Solari strategies combined seamlessly. Interceptors weaved through enemy formations with precision. Capital ships coordinated devastating strikes, and shield configurations maximized protection while conserving energy. Each human pilot gained confidence, inspired by the invisible presence of Lyra above. Finally, as night fell across the colony's artificial lighting, Alex allowed themselves a rare pause. They leaned on the railing, watching stars flicker in the distance. The memory of Lyra, of battles fought together, of arguments, of shared laughter, was still vivid. Yet this time it wasn't distraction. It was motivation. "Commander," Mara said, approaching softly, "you seem different, focused, calm, even inspired." Alex smiled faintly. "Because we have a chance. Humans have survived countless threats, and now we have allies we can trust. Someone who understands us, our strengths, and even our weaknesses." Mara looked at Alex thoughtfully. "Lyra?" Alex nodded. "Yes, and it's more than just her presence in battle. It's her knowledge, her tactics, her perspective. We combine that with human ingenuity, and the galaxy may never see us coming." Above, Lyra's ship remained still, scanning the void. Alex knew she was observing not just the colony, but the humans themselves, their reactions, their resilience, and their determination. She had returned unexpectedly, changed the outcome of a battle, and now played a crucial role in preparing humanity for challenges yet unseen. A message arrived from Lyra. "Alex, ensure the colonies coordinate. Confidence and unity are as important as firepower. The Krith will not underestimate humans again." Alex nodded silently. "Understood." The following days were a whirlwind. Alex and Mara traveled to neighboring colonies via secure transport, spreading word of human strength, resilience, and the assistance of Lyra's fleet. Colonists, initially fearful and skeptical, began to respond with hope. Reports of human ingenuity and courage during the Krith battle spread quickly, inspiring confidence and cooperation. Back at the frontier, Alex observed simulations that now incorporated combined human Solari tactics. Every strike, every maneuver, every defensive measure was analyzed and perfected. Humans were no longer simply defending. They were preparing to act decisively, striking before threats could gather. 1. Evening. After the colony had quieted, Alex received a private comm from Lyra. Her voice was calm, but carried a rare softness. "Alex, you have done well. Humans are stronger than I imagined, and you have changed, too. You lead with courage and intelligence. That combination is rare." Alex felt warmth in their chest. "Thank you, Lyra. It means a lot to hear that from you." A pause. Then she said, "The galaxy is vast, but humans will survive. I will remain until the Krith and their allies are fully assessed. After that, we see where our paths lead. For now, trust is our greatest weapon." Alex nodded, a quiet smile forming. "Then let's use it well." Outside, the stars shimmered with the cold light of distant suns. The Krith had fled, but the galaxy was far from safe. Still, humans had proven something remarkable, that even against overwhelming odds, they could adapt, survive, and thrive. And now, with an unlikely ally returning at the perfect moment, they had a chance not only to defend their colonies, but to reshape the frontier itself. Alex turned back to Mara. "We've done well, but this is just the beginning. Humans are capable of so much more. We'll need courage, strategy, and determination for what's coming. And we have all three." Mara smiled. "Then let's make sure the next battle is ours before it even begins." Alex looked out at the stars, one. Last time that evening, feeling hope and determination intertwine. The galaxy was vast, filled with dangers and unknowns, but humans would face it with courage and intelligence. And somewhere above, Lyra's ship glinted softly, a reminder that even in the darkest battles, unexpected allies and old connections could turn the tide. The frontier was safe for now. Humans had endured, learned, and prepared. And though the galaxy watched closely, no one, not the Krith, not their coalition, not even the stars themselves, could underestimate humanity again. The calm had ended. The storm had passed. But a new era was beginning, and humanity was ready.